4 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 3 minutes until airtime on the Rice Sports Network. Mark, 3 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 2 minutes until airtime on the Rice Sports Network. If you encounter any technical issues related to this live show broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 336-464-1806. Mark, 2 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 1 minute until airtime on the Rice Sports Network. Stations, we're coming up on 1 minute until airtime. 1 minute in 5, 4, 3, 2, mark. 1 minute stations, 1 minute until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studios, when you hear, please start your archive recording. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime on my mark. Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Coming up on 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds stations. Have fun.
On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield, welcome to the Rice Owls Basketball Show with Scott Pera and Lindsay Edmonds. Now to lead things off, here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes, indeedy, it is the Rice Owls Basketball Show, flying solo. Heath and Pera and Heath. We're workshopping the name for this one. We'll talk some Rice men's basketball, also Rice women on the road taking on UTSA tomorrow. So I'll give a quick preview of that, talk about the scenarios for the women. We've got a good show planned here. If you don't think these two guys can fill 45, 50 minutes, whatever it ended up being. You are sadly mistaken. We could fill 3 times that every day.
Well, we just enjoy talking sports in general. So, talking Rice basketball is even more fun. But, we'll have a good time with it.
Piece of cake. We've got, we'll talk about the season as a whole. Obviously, the week gone by and the games to come. We'll preview those, but also David Letterman-esque with the top 10 wins in the Scott Pera era. Is that how I'm term it?
Yeah, it's kind of Letterman-esque. I kind of like that lead in.
Yeah,
that's a good one. Got
the Golden Owl here.
Yeah.
This is our final show, so we're going to go out with the bang.
That's right. We're going to have fun with it.
Yeah, let's talk about the here and now.
Okay.
I sarcastically say get those last 2 games out of the mind as soon as possible. However you want to lead off. I guess I'm leading off now, but the first half against Wichita State is one of the more entertaining halves we've had. But then what do you think happened in the second half?
Yeah, we couldn't keep up with them. They were definitely in a rhythm offensively that we hadn't seen from them very much. And they obviously had a great environment, right? Great crowd. And they started hitting threes, and we had some open looks and didn't answer. And we even I went back through it again, today looking at it, even with 11 and a half minutes left in the game, it was still a 10-point game. I mean, it kind of felt worse than that because, they were hitting threes and we were missing. The crowd was going crazy, but it wasn't that out of hand till under that 10-minute mark. And but again, they didn't miss. I mean, they were 14 of 22 from 3. It's just really hard to beat a team when they shoot that well. And if we go cold, and that's what we did. We had a 39-35 lead. A couple minutes left before the half. They closed the half 7-0. We talk about that time period all the time as being critical, and we failed there, which hurt us. We had the ball to start, though. We missed. They scored. We missed. They scored. And it just kind of ramped up there to double digits quickly, and we couldn't hang with them.
Now that you've seen most every opponent, that's kind of solidified Rogers. He came in the best percentage, but the streak he went on, and I know that was in the scout, obviously, but he looked like, as advertised, the best shooter in the league.
I mean, he was 5 for 6 at UAB and had 29. And our full attention was, making sure, and it didn't matter if you were there or not, though. I mean, the one he hit from the logo to end the half, it's hard to defense that. I mean, he was, kid was on fire, played a great game. He's having a great stretch, and he's a terrific player.
Almost right off the jump, Max Fiedler becomes the all-time leading rebounder. I had it in my notes. You can see on my sheet, I was like, he needs 2 rebounds. I look up, he's got 4, just like that.
And I had it on my notes to talk about it to the team today, and I forgot. So I've got to make sure tomorrow we address that.
It has to be because Max is so understated. And like I think I asked you, what can you say about a guy that, one, does not care one iota about those kinds of records, but just adding to his resume? I don't know if there's a player in Rice history that has – I'm not saying he's the greatest in Rice history. I think it's probably for sure he's not. But still, the number of awards and honors he has, I don't know if anybody has more.
It is a long list.
Yeah.
And senior night this Saturday, they're going to take a few minutes because we read all the stuff that he has accomplished. It's going to take a while, and he deserves every ounce of applause he gets. And that's another thing. Like I'm hoping we got some people out there watching now, and hopefully we'll even retweet this or whatever we need to do Saturday night to get a crowd there to support our team and also to recognize this special senior group. I'm really hoping we get a big crowd there because these kids certainly deserve it. I know our students are on spring break, so we got to really rely on the fans and the locals to fill that place and give those guys what they deserve.
So I want to ask a couple more on Max. When did you know he was a little bit different? Because he had his freshman year and you had COVID mixed in there too, but when did you know not only was he wired differently, Rice guys in general are wired differently, but with Max specifically, when did you know he could accomplish this much?
I think, this much never. I mean, you just don't see this coming. I mean, it's just incredible what he's done. He led the country in field goal percentage last year. I mean, you just don't – I don't know that you anticipate or say that's something he's going to do or anybody's going to do that he coach. I mean, stuff – you think of all the things that happened, and we'll talk about some of these things and wins and stuff, but in the history of Rice – nobody's ever led the nation in a category. And Max did that last year in field goal percentage. It's just incredible. And now he's the all-time leading rebounder, all-time leading assists, all-time leading field goal.
Mm-hmm. I mean, games played.
That because obviously because of COVID, that's a no-brainer. But it's just been somewhere after his freshman year, in that summer, when he became clear that he was going to be the starting center, is when you started seeing the things that he could do. And, even right now, I happen to be on ESPN.com today. He's top 50 in the country in assists, and he's top 50 in the country in rebounds. So it's not just, just within league or just within, it's now 2 different leagues. It doesn't matter. He's just a unique, special player, and he's had one heck of a career. It's been an absolute honor, to coach him. And here's another thing. How many coaches, especially with this transfer portal, right, have a chance to coach one kid for 5 seasons? That's pretty cool, and it's pretty rare. And I don't know how many more times it's going to happen again with the way this world is.
Sticking with the Senior Day theme, Travis Evee on the cusp here soon to pass Morris Allman for the number 4 scorer in Rice history. An outside shot of a guy who's got a number in the rafters, Ricky Pierce. I meant to ask him when he was on last week, but what does that speak to the totality of Travis when you're figuring in not his VMI numbers? I'm quick to tell folks.
These are 4 years of Rice.
All South Maine stats here.
You're right. I mean, you're mentioning NBA, Ricky Pearson, NBA 6th Man of the Year, Morris Allman, an NBA first-round draft pick. I mean, Travis is putting his name up there with some incredible Rice legends. He will leave here a Rice legend. And, hopefully he's got a few more good ones in him. And, again, just another kid that you're just, I'm going to look back on this era of Max and Trav and just be so blessed. You go through it and you're just going through it, right, every day and every day. But I've really slammed on the brakes the last couple of weeks to just try and really appreciate how much they mean to me and how much they mean to this program and what they've accomplished. It's truly been awesome.
We have a lot more coming up in the rest of the show, but going back also to Wednesday, I know that was one against Temple you wanted to flush as soon as possible. One of the rare games where you're having what hopefully was your worst night of the year with the other team. They were locked in from the start. Is that too simplistic to look at it? Or?
It seems to be we caught 2 teams that were really hot and shot the lights out against us. And, maybe that'll all even out this week. Maybe we can get some misses here at Wednesday night at Charlotte, rebound the ball, and we can be clicking and play our best game of the year. So that's what we're going to try and do. We had a really good day of practice today. Kids were energized. They were upbeat. They are believed, still they're just in a good place. And so that as a coach that makes you happy, makes you able to go home tonight and get a good night's sleep and know that tomorrow they'll be sharp and ready to go to Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm flipping back in the book to jog my memory in some of the details of that Charlotte game, the numbers, but what stands out about them, the personnel, and how it was so close in that last game.
We played near perfect the first 10 minutes of the game. I mean, we couldn't play better. So you knew they'd make a run, and we're still up 8 at the half. But then it went down to the wire. We had a chance. We didn't take advantage of some free throws. We had a very, very questionable call go against us that is, still hard for me to watch. But, they're a good team. Patterson stood there and made two big free throws and, to get it in their favor and, credit to them for the win. But it was a heck of a basketball game.
Yeah, game really slowed down for Patterson, and I've caught the box scores in the other games, but he's really led them in the way Milicic has played down low. But, I mean, credit Coach Fern. I don't know how. I don't think I vote on such a thing, but for Coach of the Year. But he would get my vote up there. It's tough at the top of the standings, but he's done an outstanding job for Charlotte.
Yes, and he got himself a contract. And so happy for him to get the interim tag taken off. He's a great guy. I have much tremendous respect for him, always have, even when he was on Coach Sanchez's staff. So you like to see good things happen to good people. But hopefully we can find a way to outplay them Wednesday. I know it'll be tough.
That's going to be from Charlotte. They've been packing Halton Arena here recently, and that's a 6 o'clock Texas time start. We'll be on air at 5:45, and that's on ESPN Plus if you'd like to match us up. And then that Saturday game against North Texas for the Senior Day that you mentioned a little bit already, but Ross Hodge coming in there, his first year, taking over for, of course, Coach McCaslin.
And the only time we play him, right? The odd scheduling, we play them once, get them at home in the last game of the year. So, yeah, there's still a lot to be determined in these standings for a lot of teams. These are big games.
Yeah, obviously it's win, and everybody wants to win every game all the time right now. But is there a scenario where definitely what you have to do to get in, to get that bye?
Or
worry about that come?
I do worry about it. You look at it a little bit, right? And because the team wants to know, the team pays attention. The team, a win Wednesday would go a long way to putting us, out of that 11-14 spot. And the guys know that. And, and I believe even if we lose Wednesday, there still might be a scenario, which we can, depending on what happens with other teams. But you've got to control what we can. That's all we've tried to do. That's all we're focused on. And hopefully, Wednesday night at 9, Eastern, we're looking at that happy and saying, okay, we got a chance at that, or here's what we need to do, or whatever.
Okay. More with this guy coming up next. The reins to Coach Pera. We're going to talk about his top 10 wins here at Rice, and also a notable state championship anniversary coming up as well in the Pera lifetime. And we'll also take a look at the Rice women coming up later on the show. Stay tuned. It's the Rice Owls basketball show from Learfield.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
The lights, the sounds, the cameras, the electricity. If you can feel it, hear it, see it, chances are an IBEW electrician built it. The members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716 built the things that make Rice University and Houston great. When your next construction project needs to be on time and on budget, it's time to hire IBEW electricians. Learn more at IBEW716.net.
Owls fans, you may not think of yourself as an athlete, but everyday life is full of athletic feats. You bend, you reach, you lift, you twist until back, neck, or shoulder pain hits, which brings you to a stop. So whether you're an athlete or not, the Joint Chiropractic can help ease your pain and keep you on the active list. Visit any of our 40-plus Houston area locations or thejoint.com today to get your first consultation, exam, and adjustment for just $29. The Joint Chiropractic, the official chiropractor of Rice University Athletics.
Welcome back to the Rice Owls basketball show. Here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes. Welcome back. Our Rice Owls basketball show. You might know the man to my right, by the way, on the video side of things, the Owls Facebook and YouTube pages and our audio channels as well, the Varsity Network app, the Rice Owls Game Day app, and riceowls.com. I wanted to talk about, first up, for the remainder of our segments here, it's your 25th anniversary of your Annville, Pennsylvania. Maybe it's Annville, Pennsylvania accent. You say Annville?
Annville Cleona High School. Yeah, Annville, PA.
And it was 25 years ago. Now, some backstory. I love high school basketball. I loved it at a different time. I'd go to the state basketball tournament in Texas every year, and with the weird quirks of the scheduling, full disclosure this weekend, I'm not going to Hawaii. They twisted my arm. I'm not going to Hawaii for Rice baseball because I'm with you, Coach. But it's in San Antonio now. It was in Austin forever at the Irwin Center. And we could fill a podcast series on just how great that was and how fun that was. So I know a lot about this magic you're talking. Even played in the state tournament, Coach, in my playing days. But that's not the topic here. But March 27th, the 25th anniversary coming up. And for those that don't know, we don't have the shows on March 27th. So I wanted to talk with Boss about that now. That I know we talked about it a few years ago, I think, on the 20th. Wow. What does it still mean now? And you got the kind of nostalgia tickling up as you get closer to that anniversary again?
Yeah, you can't help but think about it. It's just just to give you a little backstory. So when I grew up in Hershey, PA, as most people know that are watching this, and Hershey is where they hosted all the state championship basketball games. So growing up, I would sneak into Hershey Park Arena, which was 2 blocks from my house, and I was 10, 11, 12, and I'd either go to all games with my dad or my friends, and I would sneak in. And like the security guards working at Hershey Park Arena were our teachers at school. They were doing their part-time second jobs being security, so they just let us in the back door. They tell us not to sit in the seat. We'd walk around and just watch the state playoffs, the district playoffs. And then as we got older, we'd find out like they used to have stamps on the back of your hand to sit on the floor. Well, I would bring all kind of colored markers, find out the color of the stand, put a nickel in the back of our hand, color it in, and go sit on the floor and watch the games. And so we won that state championship in that building, which they no longer play in. They're now playing this new Giant Center, the brand new nice one in Hershey. And so it was so significant to me to win it in my hometown at a place I had watched Sam Bowie, Greg Manning, all the Hershey guys all these legends that playing. And so it was almost like I was living a dream, and then how we did it was such an unbelievable storybook. That's for a whole nother podcast, and maybe someday a movie or a book. And, that's not out of the question either. That's how crazy it was how we won that title. So, yeah, a lot of nostalgia. March 27th, I think we'll do a Zoom. Maybe have a toast to the guys who are now in their 40s with families of their own and kids in high school. And I know how much it still means to them.
By winning that one, when did you know, okay, you're going to go out west? Obviously, that's documented your time at Artesia, but was that some kind of like coming of age, like, hey, I can do this, I'm going to do it on a larger scale? Or did you think, hey, I'm going to be a high school basketball coach, and then you have eyes at college after that down the line? Or when did that all figure in?
It's all totally random. And it was all based around my wife, Alyssa. At the time was my girlfriend. And she had moved to California, and I was back coaching that state championship run. In May, I went to Vegas with some friends. She drove in from California. I proposed. We made an agreement. I would go back to Annville. I wouldn't leave just after the state championship, and get with that group again because we had a good group of seniors coming back, and then we agreed that I would pack my stuff and move cross country. And I didn't know what job I was going to have in California. I went back to PA, and in 2000 we almost repeated. We got beat on a crazy buzzer beater in the state quarterfinals. And had that not gone in overtime, and we would have been favored to win the next two, I think. So we were that close to going back to back, and I don't think they'll let me leave if I did that. So maybe it's best that it worked out the way it did, and then I got fortunate and got the Artesia job, and that was totally random too.
Mm-hmm. So let's go into your top 10 wins. We were talking about texting yesterday, hey, how do you want to do this? And it's a great topic because it puts it in perspective now. Here in year 7, you've racked up some good W's. I know a couple of them offhand because obviously I've called most of your dribbles and your makes and wins. But where do you want to start? I guess we're doing 10.
Yeah, we start at number 10. We're going to work our way down, like just David Letterman style, right?
Yeah.
And I told Aiko to make sure he's tuned in. So hopefully back in D.C. right now, the little lefty point guard is tuned in because number 10 was my first year at FAU. Aiko hit about a 35-foot buzzer beater in front of our bench to win the game. And that was a memory we'll all never forget. I know you said that was one you specifically are fond of.
Yeah, I won't forget that one because I forget the name of the hotel, doesn't matter, but we go back, and that was crazy. Everybody's happy, and then you're making Sports Center that night, and then the next morning. You never forget a moment like that. Hey, I was there. That's me. That was one that will always be on my list.
It was very cool. And, we took over that. And that team obviously had a long, tough year. And when you're trying to build a program, to get a win like that just gets, everybody a smile. And that's a memory I know Aiko, I hope he is watching. And I know it's one he'll never forget, and nor should he. It was awesome. All right, number 9. There's another one I know you remember. This is the Max game. Evansville, triple overtime.
Yes.
I have never coached. I've coached in double overtime. I won a state championship in a double overtime game, but I've never coached in triple overtime. And so that was one crazy, crazy game. Both teams in the hundreds, right?
Fort Myers, yeah.
Yeah, 109, 104, whatever it was. Yeah, crazy.
Yeah, he goes 30 points. I know it was a double-double, and, of course, he's having high assist numbers. But I always know that one because that's always on my sheet when I keep track each game. I want to have their season and career highs. What I remember? I didn't know you were going to put that one there. Do you know what I remember most about that one? I was asking Max, hey, Max, can I get you? Can I get you? Can I interview you? And I didn't know he was going to jump. He jumped over the table or these chairs, like right by me. I was like, guy just got 30 and pulled down 12 and passed out 6 assists. He's jumping over, and I think that kept him going back. I was like, can I get you like later? But he did it then, and anyway, I kept him from the post-game celebration. That's what I selfishly remember about that one.
That one was special to me because I had one of my best friends in my life who had never seen me coach a college game, who'd coming off some health issues, who lives down there. His father came to the game.
That's
and
right.
Remember me? I ran into the stands after the game and gave him a hug before I even came to see you and the
Yeah,
guys.
I do remember that.
Special,
Yeah.
special game. That was a fun one.
Awesome.
All right, number 8 is the Travis buzzer beater, UTEP, here last year.
Yes.
Just because it was so awesome, right? I mean, coast to coast, floater, jumps in the student section. I have the picture up, right? That picture's up. It's actually outside our locker room and up outside our offices, and I know that's one he'll never forget.
And Bobby Tudor made it in my
Yes.
final call. As I said, he's Mr. Tudor's. I always call him Mr. Tudor, not Bobby. I don't know him like you do, but I was like, he's in the. It was because he was in the melee.
Yeah,
because he's right there as Travis kind of floated over there towards that sideline.
Backstory to that: the reason Travis did that is the La Tech game was like a week or two earlier, and Travis hit the 30-footer to send it to overtime in front of Bobby. And Bobby went to give him a high five, and Travis didn't see him.
That's right.
But he saw the replay and apologized to Mr. Tudor and said, the next time I'm coming right to you. He hits the buzzer beater and went right to him. So these little backstories are pretty cool too, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
I'd forgotten that.
Yeah, Travis saw the replay and felt bad. He felt bad that he didn't high five him. Travis, okay. All right, 7. UAB this year.
Yes.
As well of a basketball game as we have played in my 7 years, all around, near perfection. That's one I'll never forget.
Yeah, and I said last week, I guess that was, and that's so fresh on the mind. It wasn't that you won. It was just the way you did it. It was complete, and then it was about half full, but, the crowd didn't know how to respond.
No.
The team didn't know how to respond, and that was still is a really good UAB team.
It's 25-point lead at halftime.
Yeah.
And Tim gave me the numbers. It's the largest, deficit they lost at home in 20-something years, and just amazing. Great game. Had to be on the list.
And our biggest road win in about that same amount of time, less than a year, too.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. All right, number 6.
Okay.
At Santa Barbara, 1920, the Peyton Moore game.
I missed this
You were
one.
not at that one.
I had football duties.
That's right. So
I
down,
hate that I missed that.
Down 20 with like 12 minutes to go, and I know Tim has the exact numbers, but I'm close to a full court. I'll never forget. They missed a shot. We're down 1. So there was actually strategy involved because we were down 1 with over 30 seconds left. So do you foul or do you let it play out, hope they miss, and go? And we're out of timeouts. I said, no, we're going to get a stop, and we're going to go. We got the stop. I'll never forget. I think Rob got the rebound, hit Chris. Chris immediately outletted to Peyton. Peyton went down the lane over 2 or 3 guys, laid it in, and at that point, chaos ensued. Just an unbelievable comeback on the road. And it was great. I think we had MJ at that game. Dan Pira was at that game. It was just great. We had some alums at the game as well. It was fun.
And that capped, if I remember, a career high for Peyton.
Yes, 20 points.
In
Yes,
that game,
correct.
and in his own backyard.
Yes.
Because he was out in Vegas with us.
Yep.
I remember talking to him around the breakfast nook or whatever it was, lunch, and he's working out still in that L.A.
The
Santa
Peyton
Barbara
Moore
area.
game.
Yeah.
No doubt about it.
So that's through 6?
Yep.
Let's do it like the pros do. Next 5 coming up after the break.
I love it, JP.
Can we do that?
You're on your game.
On the other side, hey, late season, we've got some kind of chemistry here. Stay tuned more. It is the Scott Pera Show. We'll tie in a few other loose ends there coming up to tie a bow on the season, and I have more here. It's the Rice Basketball Show from Learfield.
Whether running a marathon or walking your dog, every movement matters. But when you're in pain, simple activities can feel unbearable. At Houston Methodist Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, our specialists can help you heal faster using the latest technology, minimally invasive procedures, and advanced physical therapy. As the top-ranked hospital in Texas, we have the expertise to keep you moving and help you get back to doing the things you love. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Owl fans, need a lift? Look no further than Avalon Bus Services. Servicing the entire nation, Avalon Bus Services can take any group size, any distance, and is ready to service you Owl fans. Servicing your Owls since 2016, it is a no-brainer why the Owls choose Avalon for their transportation needs. With 10 different locations as well as nationwide services, it is easier than ever to book with Avalon Bus Services. To book a ride for your next Owls game, whether on the road or here at Rice Stadium, visit AvalonBus.com. Avalon Bus, proud sponsor of Rice Athletics.
Aw, shucks, the game's on TV, but I can't listen to the call of my favorite team broadcasters.
Never fear, Sync My Game is here.
Sync my game?
Yes, Sync My Game. If you have a DVR and streaming device, head to syncmygame.com from Learfield. It's never been easier to hear the impassioned voices of your favorite radio crew synced with the TV.
Wow, thank you, Mr.
Just remember, syncmygame.com.
Bringing you more Rice Owls men's and women's basketball. Here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
It is our final Rice Owls basketball show of the season. Make sure you hear / you can watch it too. We'll allow you to do that. Rice is playing at Charlotte coming up Wednesday night. It'll be thumping and bumping at Halton Arena. Had some crazy games there in the past. And then Owls host right behind us. We want you out there for senior night to recognize Travis Evie and Max Fiedler, among others, for their great contributions to Rice basketball. The Rice women tomorrow over down I-10 taking on UTSA. Jordan Smith will have that audio call, and that'll be on ESPN Plus as well coming up. More with Scott Pera. We left off the 10 through the 6 of the top 10 wins in the Pera era. So all the drum roll. Play a sounder, Walter. Come on. What are you doing? You're lazy over there. Play a sounder or something. No.
So before we start with number 6, I want you to know Aiko.
5. We're on 5.
I know, but
yeah.
Number 5. Aiko just texted me, said he should be in the top 5. That's a pretty good argument. I like it. All right,
you watching? There's been a few years since you, man. We've had a few games. It's not all about his 3-point record's been passed twice.
Right. He's like a has-been.
Come on, man.
All right, number 5.
Okay.
Marshall in the conference tournament in 2021.
I remember that.
Big one. And it's a big one. They were really good. They were big favorites. And you're building a program, right? And you're taking steps in building this process. And then to win a game like that against a team that you're not supposed to beat in March in the conference tournament, that was a really, really big win. It was a lot of fun. A lot of locker room scene after that game was a lot of fun.
And that was Kinsey was there.
Yes.
Was Elmore still there, or was that the year after?
No,
Elmore,
I think it was a year after.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I remember that one.
They were very good. Yep. All right, number 4, 1920. North Texas here. They were 8-1 in the league and in first place, and we beat them here in 1920. Really, really, really good win against a really good team. Go ahead.
Yeah, just the way, like we talked about earlier, that earlier segment, talking about North Texas coming up. Coach McCaslin had them going. I think that was the year they ended up beating Purdue in the tournament.
Yes. So and they were in first, and to knock them off here was just a great team effort by our guys. I believe Trey was involved in that game. He was here then, so that was a really good one. Mm-hmm. Number 3, you were wondering where I was going to put this, and that's this year at Memphis. For the significance of that historic program, right, and to do it on the road, the first time we've played them as me as the coach, and our kids just really, really battled, hung on, and had a great, great win at Memphis.
Yeah, and with it being so recent, that's going to stay with me a while too. Just the way you did it, but coming down to the wire. That wasn't obviously a blowout either way, but that came down right to the very end. And then for, I guess, Alum had a great game in that one. I mean, on that streak. But I'll remember that one for a long time.
That's a good one. All right, number 2. Last year at North Texas, beating them there and beating them in a pretty solid manner. We played a tremendous second half. Obviously, they were a really good team again. And Q and Trav and Max and the guys were just, and Cam, the guys were just tremendous. To win a road game there against that team was a big, big win for us.
Yeah, Quincy 25-30-ish. I mean, he just exploded in that one. Everybody played well. Yeah,
we did. Max was hitting jumpers in the first half, if you remember.
Yeah, that's right.
They were playing off him. Yeah, he kept us in the game when we were trying to get going, and then in the second half we really clicked, and so that was a fun one. And then the number 1, I would say, was the year 2021-22 we beat UAB here. Now this is hard. I mean, there's a lot of ones could be argued, but that was a really big win. Again, we're year 5. The program is really making strides. They come in here 36 or whatever they were in the country, 34, and we beat and played terrific. And that was a great win. I'll never forget it. I know the guys, that's one we use. Matter of fact, in our recruiting presentation, the guys get me with the water going in the locker room after that game. So I'll always have that video, that memory. And I've seen it like 1,000 times now because every time we recruit, we show that.
And that was, they won conference that year.
Yeah, I think
it was
they did,
one of their tournament teams.
Yeah. So it was a big time win.
Man.
Yeah, now, the next thing I have to say is there's going to be another one to add to this list before we're done this year.
Let's hope so.
Yeah, our guys are excited to keep playing and to play well.
Yeah. Season on a whole, hopefully still, like you hinted there, a lot more coming up left. What do you see down the stretch that, you've always hearkened, the quote I'll remember from you the last few weeks, what is it not? There's a difference between disappointed and discouraged.
Yes, huge difference. And there's been a lot of disappointment. Obviously when you lose games away, we've lost them. And then you actually, teams played really well the last two that beat us. You got to be able to learn from those losses, take, why, certain things happen, but then also go out the next day or the next week in your preparation and play with more of an edge. I think the team is doing that. I know they're really motivated. And that makes a big difference too when you get to March 5th, 6th, 7th. There's a lot of teams, have a losing record, want the season to end. And I'm in our locker room looking at a bunch of guys that can't wait to play again. And that's really a good thing, and it doesn't guarantee we're going to win Wednesday or guarantee we're going to win Saturday, but it means we have a bunch of guys engaged to try and do what they want to do and believe in each other. And so I'm pumped. I can't wait, and can't wait to play again on Wednesday night.
And we still have a couple minutes in this segment to spare. Something we talked about, the staff discussed, I don't know, of a season outro with the staff. I don't think we talked about them at the very outset because of our setting this year. Most shows, other seasons, we'd have a staff member each week. But since we didn't do that this year, kind of your bon voyage to them this season here, what they've meant to you, and obviously close personal connections made with the guys.
Yeah, I've been very lucky. I've been very lucky in this business to have the staff and the assistants that I've had. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of stuff that goes on in offices and staffs around the country where everybody's agenda isn't the same. Some people are out for themselves. After a loss, they want to say or talk behind the coach's back that if they, why did you do this? Why did you do that? I have none of that. I just have three guys and then also Dobo Video Strength and GA that are all in the boat, rowing in the same direction. They don't make excuses. They don't, question things unless it's just I ask them to or want them to so we can discuss it. Because I know I make plenty of mistakes, and I want to grow as well. And I have that great veteran in Russ who sat in my seat and understands so many of the things I'm going through. And those two, young stars, in my opinion, Van and Greg, that just bring tremendous energy, and unbelievable connectivity to the players, and just so loyal to me, and they're ex-players, and that's kind of what you get in that, right? And so, yeah, it's been a really good, man. You're going to go through a tough year. It's good to go through it with people you care about, you love. They love you and have your back. And that's why I don't think we're done. And that's why I think we still have some good things ahead of us, because I know those guys are far from giving up. They are a motivated group of coaches and men, and just really good people.
I can't wait, Coach. Thank you for making my job a lot easier. You're a blast to be around, and let's call some more dubs, okay?
JP, I'm with you. I always appreciate everything you do for us. I know how much you enjoy, watching those kids like we do. I get to coach them, but you've got to call their games, Yeah. And I know missing Cam this year hurt us all, right? Because how good he is of a player he is. But just watching Alam's maturity now as a senior, and he's the possibility of coming back. Obviously, hopefully he does, but he's going to get honored senior night, as will Cam, and he deserves it too. But all the games you called to Max and Trav, and I know it means a lot to you. I appreciate how much you care about it, and I always enjoy these shows with you.
Appreciate you, Mom.
You got it, buddy.
Appreciate it. More coming up with Coach Pera, obviously, on the broadcast. Stay tuned. ESPN Plus, all the video streams, and I'll have the audio stream the rest of the way. Stay tuned. I'll tie a final bow on this one coming up next, and we'll talk some Rice women's basketball coming up next. It's a Rice House basketball show from Learfield.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup for the 2023-24 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite school or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. That's thedirectorscup.com and L Directors Cup on Twitter. Trophies will be awarded in June 2024 to the winning institutions in all competitive divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
The lights, the sounds, the cameras, the electricity. If you can feel it, hear it, see it, chances are an IBEW electrician built it. The members of the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers Local 716 built the things that make Rice University and Houston great. When your next construction project needs to be on time and on budget, it's time to hire IBEW electricians. Learn more at IBEW716.net.
Rice teams and traditions are legendary. Our team as strategic wealth designers are proud to be a partner of Rice Athletics. What an honor to be working together. When you're ready to discuss your financial future, call the team the Owls trust. We look forward to creating your winning strategy for retirement. Visit us at swdgroup.com today and go Owls.
You're listening to the Rice Owls Basketball Show. Now let's rejoin the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes. Welcome back here. The final segment of the final show here, the Rice Owls Basketball Show. We'll give our final Fairly Wells coming up here in just a second, our final thank yous and all that good stuff. Wanted to, of course, Coach Edmonds, watching this far, why haven't they talked Rice women's basketball? I'm just making up a random voice for any Rice fan out there or any other fan. But you don't know, Rice women tomorrow playing at UTSA with the quirks of the scheduling. We don't control that. So the women obviously in transit. They're already over in the Alamo City, actually, and we don't have Coach Edmonds here. That's why she's not on. But it's been a tough streak for the Rice women recently, but they've got UTSA coming up tomorrow. This last game, Rice right behind us lost in the home finale against North Texas 63-54. And that was their one game of this past week, but taking on UTSA at the Convocation Center, 6:30 coming up tomorrow night. And there are some scenarios where Rice can still get in. This is a lot. I'll condense it for folks listening, but Rice can still get that bye in the first round of the American tournament, which officially kicks off coming up Saturday. Rice wants to either be playing Sunday or Monday. We know they won't be playing, of course, in the first round games. That's reserved for the 11 through 14 seeds, and then those go on to play the 5 through 12 seeds, different brackets. Just trust me on that. But Rice could still there's an outside chance where they could still get into that double bye scenario. The highest they could get is 4, and Rice would, of course, have to win against the Roadrunners and have Charlotte lose, UAB lose, and Memphis lose. So it is possible for Rice still to get in that scenario, but might be a lot to ask, but hopefully all those results land in blue and gray favor. Rice has the season series against South Florida, you remember. That's the only team with the same conference record as the Blue and Gray that they are head of. So there is one tiebreaker. Rice wins there, but just take note of that. And really happy, one, that we got to do this show this year the way we're doing it when we didn't have the brick and mortar show to go to. Huge thanks to David Pillam for setting things up and getting things organized on the structure here, for putting the boots on the ground, and thanks to Joe and Creative for giving us these nice lights, because this may amaze you. We may have the good looks here behind the desk and sound just ravishingly, but so many people help us out behind the scenes. Thanks to Walter, thanks to Clara, and of course our sports information gurus, Tim and Anthony, for helping us out as well. So that's it for me for now. From here, we have Rice basketball at Charlotte coming up. Wednesday, we'll be scooting on over to the land of not-so-great barbecue coming up on tomorrow. But we play Wednesday night at 6, and that'll be on ESPN Plus, and I'll have the pregame at 5:45. I say it all the time. Go to Memphis, barbecues in Texas. Although I did really love that barbecue we had, Rendezvous, when I went there. But open mind, I was telling Clara, and that's really a joke for off-air because Clara is back in Winston-Salem, the land of supposed great barbecue. And we all know Texas has the best barbecue anyway. I'll stop yapping before I get in more trouble. But really appreciate everybody out there. Go Owls, Rice fight. God bless. We'll talk to you coming up on Wednesday in Charlotte and home. Come out to that the senior night honoring Travis Max and the guys coming up on Sunday. Have a great night. God bless. Go Owls, Rice fight. We'll talk to you later. It's been the Rice Basketball Show from Learfield.
Behind every door at Houston Methodist, you know what to expect. Expertise. Whether it's life-saving brain surgery, your 3D mammogram that catches breast cancer sooner, or orthopedic specialists helping you feel stronger than ever.